Please start the recording now.
We started.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. Right. Yeah, guys, please answer. We have 1 minute left, and then we'll start the session. And meanwhile, I'll always say, please feel free to ask question if you have anything. Please feel free. Man, this is something that I want to know. I want to clarify. We will be more than happy to clarify that. Right? Makes sense? So we have quickly, guys. Quickly, anyone? We have 1 minute more left, and we'll starting. Okay, it's 2:05. We'll start the session, right? Anyone want to say something before I start sharing my screen? Okay. So I'm assuming that you guys either you know or either you don't know about chatbot. Not an issue. I'll try to make sure that I'm delivering the content, delivering the session in a more easy language. So don't worry, I will not be using more technical language because I don't prefer using the technical language when we have until unless the person is very much skilled in front of me, right? Okay, great.
Hello.
So yeah. See, am I audible, Sunil? Am I audible, Fatima?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So anyone is not able to hear, then definitely there is something internet problem from your end. So from my end, everything is okay. I'll just start the sharing. I'll just share my screen. Okay. Starting with the very basics, right? Okay, I'll go into the presentation, right? So we are here to discuss about what is chatbot, right? What is AI assistance? So let me brief about myself. My name is Gaurav Suman, and I am a data scientist working with Infobis London, and I completed my post graduation in data science from SPJ in Mumbai. Currently working with the Infobis as a data scientist, right? So moving further, our agenda of today's session is chatbot, right? So when we say what is chatbot, so whenever we say chatbot, right? Chatbot is something. What is it? It's related to chat. We understand from the word term itself, chat, and again bot, right? Chat means communication flow thing, right? And we call chatbot. So anything and everything that is taken care by the machine itself, by the computer itself, the answering part. Let's just suppose you say, "Hi, how are you?" The machine is answering, "I'm good. How about you?" Right? So any such process where machine is involved, no human interaction is there. We call that product, we call that thing as chatbot, right? And AI, what is AI? AI means artificial intelligence. I hope this is clear to you all, right? So wherever there is a non-human involvement or a computer involvement or a intelligence involvement, system involvement, we call it artificial intelligence, right? Who is taking care, who is replacing actually human activity, human work. Let's say suppose right? For example, I am a person who is actually working as a sorting some couple of student name or employees name based on their salary bracket or based on their ages, right? If I am doing it, then it's not an AI assistant. When the same thing is taken care by any system, that means there is an AI who is taking care, who is playing a role in order to take care of that process. So that's where AI comes into picture, and that's where, right? So moving further, we'll discuss about what are the contextual AI assistants. What is contextual AI assistance? So when I say contextual AI assistance, it means any AI assistance, any artificial assistance. When I say assistance, matlab someone who is helping. in simple language, in layman language, right? Contextual means anything related to context, anything related to something relevant. Maybe can be anything, right? It can be anything. Context can be anything. Context can be, let's say, suppose if I'm talking about a biology book, right? So biology book is an entire context. So anything and everything that is related to biology, given XYZ ka book, right? XYZ author ka book, that becomes a context for any assistance, AI, any artificial assistance, AI assistance, right? Similarly, moving further, there are generally there are 5 steps, five stages or levels you can say of any AI assistance. The very first is notification assistance. What is notification assistance? So when I say notification assistance, right, it is something, don't you think it is something similar to what you get on your mobile phone? Let's say suppose you are getting an email or WhatsApp messages or anything, you get it at the topmost part, right? Okay, when you scroll your mobile down, you see, okay, there is some notification coming in, right? So that notification is what? Similar thing, right? How it is, and again, how it is helping and how they are able to classify it, that okay, whatever the input is coming is from WhatsApp. How it is possible, or it's coming from a Gmail, right? How it is possible? It is possible because why? Because the model is, the assistance is trained that way, in that manner, right? Makes sense? Moving further, okay, guys, if you have any question, please feel free to ask. Okay, yeah, okay. So the second level, when we now the second level, right? Second level is FAQ assistant. What do you mean by FAQ? Frequently asked question, right? So in a simple language, let's suppose you are running an organization, right? Or you're running a restaurant, right? So there can be some FAQ, right? When this restaurant is open, what is the opening time? What is the closing time? What are the food available? What are the varieties of food available? Right? These are the frequently asked questions, right? Let's say suppose if you are planning to, let's say suppose if you are in UK and you are planning to visit an Indian restaurant, right? We'll see whether the given restaurant is providing Indian food or not, continental food or not, right? How you can get it. So they're generally, if they have a website, if they have anything, they have general FAQs there, right? Similarly, whenever you take that FAQ and process it and train your artificial intelligence as a chatbot with the given FAQ, and that helps you with the solution for a given question, that process, that assistance is known as FAQ assistance, right? Now, any doubts so far?
No.
Good. So guys, I cannot see the chat if you are putting anything on chat. So anyone maybe if there is any chat, like anyone, maybe Sunil or maybe Fatima, please keep checking the thing, right? So that you can say, okay, this is a question that is coming from XYZ student, right? XYZ candidate.
Okay.
Make sense? Yeah. Thanks a lot. So moving further, the level 3. Yeah. Anyone? Okay. Your voice is not audible, man. Whosoever you are, you can put it on in the chat. Someone will read the question, and I'll be happy to answer it. Okay. So meanwhile, I'll just move further. So the level 3 is basically contextual AI assistance. Already discussed, right? Whenever an AI assistance is taking care and understanding the context out of it from the given set of, maybe anything. It can be anything. It can be, as I said, it can be biology. It can be RD Sarma mathematics, right? It can be anything. It can be about COVID, right? It can be about cancer. It can be about any disease. It can be about any possible health thing, right? So whenever you use a given context to train your model, to train your assistance, and then that assistance help you with the given relevant questions or any queries put across to that chatbot is known as a textual AI assistance, right? Moving further, any doubts so far? Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Moving further, the fourth level, right? The fourth level is what? Personalized assistance. When I say personalized assistance, it seems if you understand, okay, there is something related to personal thing, there is something related to, there is something that make this thing unique over and above this context one, right? Let's say suppose you are a person, you visit a LIC, maybe insurance insurance company website, and you try to figure out, okay, which product is suitable for me, right? So an insurance product can differ from person to person, correct? Correct. We cannot prescribe the same insurance product to everyone. So how it helps, how does it works? So given your personalized data, right? Whenever an assistance consider consider the context plus the personal data, and then answer the given query. In that case, the assistance is that level of assistance is called personalized assistance. For example, when we talk as we discussed about insurance thing, so let's say if I visit, let's say suppose Edelweiss Financial Services portal, right, or Edelweiss Broking Limited, given a very good example, Edelweiss Broking Limited, right? So there is if you go visit their website portal, so luckily you will find that the product has been developed by me only. So based on your age, based on your different demographic profile and everything, they recommend the given product, given insurance product to you. How it is possible? This is possible because they understand your requirement given your personal data, age, location, salary, dependent, and so many things, right? Now they are recommending you something that is fit for you. So there, whenever the assistance is helping you in that manner, is called personalized assistance. Correct? Moving further, the fifth level, right? It is actually the mixture of all the four, I'll say. Okay, all the four. So yeah, you can also call this a hybrid kind of systems, right? Okay, so let's move further, right? Any doubts so far? Anyone? Anything? Any chat?
Gaurav,
Yeah,
hello.
yeah,
Gaurav,
yeah,
can you
Fatima.
please explain level 2? Kiran was asking about that.
Okay, level two. Level two is FAQ assistance. As discussed earlier, FAQ is what? Frequently asked question. What can be the frequently asked question? Let's say suppose if I talk about hospital, so what is the opening time? What is the closing time? What are the treatment available? What are direct maybe departments there? Maybe ortho department. There is a general physician. There can be some surgery
Hello?
and so on and so forth,
Hello?
right? Hello. Yeah, hi, who's that? So in given situation, whenever you have a set of FAQ, and that assistance and the model is trained on that FAQ, and they are able to answer you whenever you put some query. Let's say suppose what's the opening time for XYZ hospital. So it's giving okay morning 8 a.m. right? How it is possible? Because it has been maintained in the database that okay, these are the possible questions that is generally asked by any user whenever they're visiting for the first time. Okay, clear? Makes sense? Yeah. Okay, so moving further, RASA. So when we talk about rasa, what is rasa? Anyone having any idea? Anyone can answer this? Guys, how many people do we have? Okay, we have approximately 32, 33 people, right? Anyone having idea about what is rasa? Okay. Anyways, fine. So when we talk about rasa, right, it's actually a framework for developing any chatbot. Okay. It's an open source framework which uses basically machine learning tools and all that helps to build a conversational AI, conversational artificial intelligence. Okay, AI assistants. Okay, so that is yeah. There are many framework available in the market. Rasa is one of them, and Rasa is actually free open source. We don't have to pay anything for that. Okay. Now, if we talk about if we talk about what are the components there in this Rasa, right? So we generally have three components. One is Rasa X. Rasa X, Rasa X is a paid version. We won't be talking about Rasa X. We'll be more focusing on the Rasa open source, Rasa NLU and core part, right? So when I talk about Rasa NLU, right? What is it? Anyone having any idea about NLP? Guys, please answer. Anyone? NLP, natural language process. Guys, you are here for chatbot thing, right? At least I'm expecting NLP simple answer. Okay, let me check the chat if I'm missing something. Okay, no idea. Okay, fine. So it's really disheartening for me because I was expecting at least you guys will have some idea about it. Anyways, not an issue, right? So when I say NLP, right, it is actually a deep learning thing that helps to process your language, right? Natural. It is if you elaborate this term, it's natural language process. When I say natural language process, be it any language, Hindi, English, Sanskrit, Punjabi, Marathi, or any Kannada, any language, right? It processes it. Whenever human language, in simple language, if I say human language, whenever NLP basically helps to process any human language. Okay, and the NLU component, Rasa NLU component, helps to understand what exactly the person is speaking, what exactly you are typing, what exactly you are trying to ask. It's understand, okay, there is something called as intent, there is something called as intent in that. If you get in detail, we'll explain what is intent and entities. So entity, again, understanding what exactly you are trying to say. And intent is basically under which category is false. Okay, right? So going further, core part. So basically, again, Rasa core is it's also called the brain of the Rasa, by the way. Most any decision, any flow is taken care by the Rasa core part. So we have something called as stories, right? What should be the next course of action in a given situation. So how it is taken care? It is taken care by the Rasa core. Don't worry, we'll get into detail, and probably for more understanding, you can visit this rasa.com portal. You'll get a detailed understanding about what is Rasa, right? So yeah, any doubts so far?
Yeah, can you just explain more about NLU, Rasa NLU? Because if I'm trying to understand it, it's like it basically understand all the languages like Hindi, English, Marathi, right?
Yeah, it's just not about understanding the language. That is an NLP task, right? So let's say suppose you get you know what is structured and unstructured data.
Yeah, structure and structured. I know what is structure and structured data.
Right. So whenever you are getting an unstructured data that need to be classified and labeled, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So whenever this process is taken care, this process is taken care by the Rasa NLU part, right? Let's say I say hi. Okay. So how what exactly I'm trying to say to the system? Okay, that I am trying to greet you. I'm trying to say good morning, or I'm trying to say okay, I'm coming for the first time, right?
Okay.
So that's where it helps to extract and identify what exactly I am trying to say.
Okay, so it has basically stored words in the in its database. So what you tell
Correct.
it decodes it and it tries to understand what you're trying to tell.
Right. So there is a set of data that on which the model is trained, NLU part is trained, and given the trained NLU data, it understand and identify the intended entities.
Okay,
Okay.
got it. Got it.
Thanks for asking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a small Rasa architecture, right? So how the process takes place. So this is a message coming in, right? Once the message comes in, it the bot try to basically interpret what exactly you are doing, and it is taken care by what NLU part. Now once it is interpreted, once it is understood, okay, what I am trying to say to this machine, it goes to tracker. Tracker is what it's called a store memory location within Rasa. It stores data, right? Now going further, there is a policy and action, right? What should be the action? What should be the reaction in a given situation? That is something taken care in this actions. And again, once you have the actions, identify, you have what to do. It is again stored. Fifth is again storing back to tracker. As I said, answer is stored in the track. Anything and everything is stored in the tracker. It's a stored memory location, and then it is stored and simultaneously it gives the message out. Okay. Any doubts so far? Okay. Good. Yeah. So let me explain. Let me give you a brief understanding about the project structure, right? So whenever whenever you are planning to develop a chatbot, right, you need to follow some folder pattern in a document. Yeah, who is that? Guys, I can't. If you are saying something, I'm not able to hear. Please type it in the chat. We will get back to you on this. On that. Okay. Okay. So as I said, whenever we are working on any chatbot project, right, you need to follow some structure. There is a structure that has to be followed, right? So you see, this is a project folder, right? Let's say XYZ project folder. So within an XYZ project folder, you will find a credentials.yaml, domain, endpoints, config.yaml, and a data. There is NLU and stories and rules. So rules is something that is new in Rasa 2.0 version. Earlier, there was no rules. Everything was taken care by stories. Okay. And there is an actions.py. It's an actions.py is the only place where you need to write a code using Python programming language. Everything and anything apart from this actions is something just a format that you need to follow. Just enter a data. Just enter things. Right? So what is credentials? So credentials is, this is, suppose you want to connect your bot to any given maybe a WhatsApp, right? So you need to connect that WhatsApp number. And how it is possible? You need to have some credentials, right? Let's say suppose if you want to log in your WhatsApp, Facebook, you need some ID and password, right? Similarly, if you want from your Rasa hosted in any location, the web portal, you want to access a given mobile number. How it is possible? You need to have some credentials, right? And that credentials is in this credentials.yaml file. Okay. Now, what is domain.yaml? Domain.yaml is actually the registration office, registration place, right? I call it as a registration office because anything and everything that you're planning to add has to be registered or kept in this domain.yaml file. Okay, be it any question, be it any answer, be it any intent, be it any entity, everything and anything has to be in this folder. Sorry. Yeah. And then endpoints. Endpoints is again, now you have now you want to, let's say suppose you have an actions file and you want to deploy somewhere. For that you need an endpoint thing, right? Some endpoint, some URL, something like that. And where it is, you can find it here, endpoint.yaml. Configuration, right? Configuration. Let's say suppose for to run a given application, or maybe you take an example of the games, right? You need some, your system has need some configuration, right? It has to be, you need at least 2 to 5 GB graphic. You need at least some RAM, some amount of RAM, and so on and so forth, right? This is that is the configuration that is needed for your game to run in your system. Similarly, any configuration that is needed to run this bot, that configuration is stored, that configuration is taken care by this config.yaml file. Moving further, data within the data file folder. It's not a file, it's a folder. There is 3 things. One is NLU. NLU is where it's a place where all the trading data, as rightly said in the before, like someone asked, okay, so it is some data is stored, and then based on that, its model is trained and then answer it, right? Identifies it, sorry. So that identify that that data is stored in this NLU.md file, and then there is a stories.md, right? This stories file consists of set of rules or set of flow that has to be followed whenever a given intent is triggered. When I say whenever a given intent, I mean to say whenever a given situation. So let me not use the word intent. Let's just say let's use a simple language, that is situation, right? Whenever I say hi, that means I'm trying to say, okay, hi, good morning, or something like that. Now, what should be the next course of action? Maybe how are you, and how the system will understand. System will understand based on the rule, based on the flow that is mentioned in the stories.md file. Okay. Now moving further, this actions.py. Any kind of customization, any kind of API call, or any new thing, any extra thing over and above that you want to add to it, to your chatbot, is taken care by Python programming within this actions.py file. Any doubts so far? Any questions so far?
What is endpoints? Can I come again? Like it was not clear. Endpoint. Yeah.
Okay. So now, if you want to deploy your product somewhere, okay, in any portal, anywhere, correct? So you need some URL, you need some API, correct? So that API, that anything is there in this endpoints. Okay, usually called for whenever a given situation arises, right? Sure. Anything? Anyone? Okay. Now, what is NLU? As I said, it's actually a training data. You can see it's an intent, right? And check balance. What is the balance? So these are the training data, right? Similarly, greet, hi, hello, right? Makes sense? This is training data for NLU, correct? Yeah. Moving further, data. Again, I'm talking about the stories, right? As I said, when I say hi, what should be next course of action? Whenever I say hi, it utter okay, it triggers, okay, I'm trying to say hi. So what you have to do, greet. I understand, okay, this is something to greet. Now you have to utter something, right? You to say something. So action asks, how can I help? So you says, okay, how can I help you? Right? How it is possible? Because this for this given set of code, there is something written in the actions or the domain file, and that's what it answers, given whenever the greet situation takes place. Similarly for all this thing, right? Config.yaml, as I already said, it's a configuration, be it language. Yeah, EN is your English language, and pipeline, whatever the pipeline is there, policies is there, so on and so forth. Right? You can get in detail whenever you are checking the web portal. That will help you to understand it better. Okay. Now, domain already discussed. Credentials we have already discussed. Endpoint we have already discussed. Actions we have already discussed. Right? Okay. Um, okay, so now I will quickly show you a small demo. So let me open on the prompt. So I have for today's session I have created one uh, directory for it. I'll just copy the address and say cd, right. So I have what you can do is, currently we are in the base environment, so what I'll do is I'll create a virtual environment. So I have already created it earlier. So what I'll do is I'll just activate it. How we can activate it? Code is the command line is Honda activate. env is the env is the name of the virtual environment. Okay, and just enter it, activated. You can see from base it's now to env, correct? So if you want to if you don't have Rasa installed it, you need to install Rasa, right? And how you can do it? Pip install Rasa. Okay, so I have already installed it. I'll not install it, but yes, I sorry, Rasa .p install installation in window. So whenever you will see there is rasa.c, rasa.py.pi, right? So you can check it. The code is the command line is pip install rasa. You can easily do it that way, right? So as I said, I have already installed it. I don't need to install it. If you haven't installed it, you need to install it. How you can say? Just write pip install rasa. And any version that you want to initialize, you can initialize it. X, beat anything, right? As I said, I have already installed it. I will not install it. So next thing is I want to have a simple infrastructure to work on the chatbot. We can see currently this folder is empty, right? I'll just say Rasa in it. What it will do is it will extract the basic framework from the Rasa community itself. Okay, it will extract. It may take some time. Meanwhile, let's do one thing. Let's see if there is any questions that you have asked in the chat. I'll try to. Yeah, natural language understanding. Good. Binny, good. It's a file of AI. Okay. Okay. Good. So no question. Yeah, I'm just thinking why you guys don't have question here. You should ask. Right. So now it's trying to work on it. You should always feel free to ask question, right? It's something new that you guys are doing, if I'm not mistaken. We have how many people?
Can you tell us more about Rasa once before starting?
Yes. So okay. So when I talk about Rasa, right? Rasa is what? Rasa is actually a framework for developing the chatbot. Okay. So it's actually, see, let's say suppose if you have to develop a chatbot code or anything, it needs lot many things to be taken care, right? So now to make your work easy, there is something I'm sure you must be aware of. There is something called a chat, some framework, right? Or maybe if you know, for data frame there is a framework Pandas. Similarly for chatbot there is Rasa, right? So just it's asking a permission. Well, which location you're looking for. I'll just say this location only. I'll enter it, right? So now it's asking, do you want to train the initial model? So when I say yes, why? It's start training the initial model, which is there. You can see now in this folder where there was no file, there was no anything. Now there is a thing. How? As I said, when we do Rasa in it, it extract the feature, extract the folder files and everything, the structure. Okay, in the given directory. Right? Now this process, the training process started. So hope I was able to answer your question, Rasa.
Basically, we do test and train on the data, right?
Correct. Definitely. See, for let's say suppose you are not it's not a human being, right? For any computer activity, you want your system to take care of your thing like a human being. You need to train it. You need to give an understanding. Okay, this is your and everything. So you can see the core model is already trained, and NLU model is already trained. So both the model is trained. So once it is trained, right? So in the uh, models, earlier there was no model. Now it's a model is saved here, right? There was no model, if you remember. Okay. So do you want to speak to your trained model? I'll say yes, I want to speak to it. What it will do is it will now load this. Now load this model within this model folder. We have this model saved, right? It will reload this folder. It will reload this. Trained model, right? It's loading. You can see the model, right? So once it's reload the model, we can start communicating with it. Okay, now it's asking for an input. Okay, let's say suppose I say hi. We'll say hi, how are you? Right? Now let's see. Let me open an editor, any editor. I'm using Sublime Text, by the way. So let me do something. Let me open. Okay, I have this. Then this within this directory, I have this. So you'll see there is some domain thing here, right? Utter greet. Whenever there is a greet, it will do that. Cheer up. So cheer up, utter cheer up. I'll go to stories once. I'll go to stories and try to understand utter cheer up. Utter cheer up is whenever there is mood unhappy. So when it will be mood unhappy, so we can see mood unhappy intent here. So mood unhappy intent. When it will be mood unhappy, then I say I am sad. Okay. So let's try it out. I say I am sad. It will say this. Right. Here is something that we can share that you can share up, right? And it's say sharing this thing. Did it help you? You say yes, whatever you want. Correct. Yeah. So similarly, understand what you want to say. You ask anything, it will help. Whatever based on whatever model that based on the stories, based on the data that has been entered within this file. Okay, makes sense. Any doubts so far? Any doubt so far? Any doubt? Anyone? Any question?
Hello, sir. Fazan here. Uh, Sir, I want to know, is there any other model other than Rasa that can be used for creating chatbots?
So there are lot many actually. There are lot many. I remember there is Watson, IBM Watson. So there are again there is one flow, dialog flow is there. So lot many things are there. Lot many frameworks, libraries are there which you can use to develop a chatbot. But yes, Rasa is one of them. It is easy, I can say. It has more feature.
What is the efficiency of Rasa, sir?
Yeah.
Efficiency of it, the model.
Could not understand your question. Can you please clarify?
So what I'm asking is, what is the working efficiency of Rasa model? Is there any time where it fails, or is it that it needs a lot of training before that can be used properly?
See, generally, I haven't so far in my last 6 months of experience, almost 1 year, I'll say 6 to 8 months. So my company is using Rasa since almost 1 year, and I'm using Rasa since 6 months. So I haven't ever faced this problem. But yeah, definitely it's a machine again. There is some confidence level. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
It's like what Faizan was asking, sir. What is the efficiency percentage, sir? How efficient is this model, sir?
See, again, as I said, the accuracy is always more than 90-95%. Okay. Now coming to your point, so generally in my last 6 months of this Rasa thing, I haven't found there's a lack in accuracy or something like that. It works well. If you have trained your data, trained your model properly, it works well. You need to make sure that you are not confusing the model. That's right. Yeah. Anyone else? Anyone else? Fatima, do we have anything for these guys? Anything like maybe a form or something that you want to share with these guys? Fatima, are you there?
Yeah, so did you finish the webinar?
Yeah, it seems like if they have some question they can ask it. For my part, I am back. From my side.
So maybe Sunil, you can share the feedback form and our feedback form is here. So
Okay.
you guys can give us the feedback. So based on that, we will contact you. So do you have any questions? You can ask to Mr. Gaurav. Any
More about
questions?
Infobase and how it's like how we're gonna
Could not hear you,
Sorry,
man.
happen.
yeah, your line is breaking. So maybe you can drop a message in the chat.
I was asking about how will the interview take place. Can you tell us more about that?
Please fill the feedback form. Fatima will get back to you on this, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Do you guys anyone have any queries?
So if you guys don't have any query, then we can end this session. And please fill the feedback form so that Fatima can reach back to you all. Okay? Okay. I think they don't have any much questions. I think Fatima, we can probably end the session. What do you say, Sunil?
Sure.
Guys, if you still have, I'll wait for more 3 minutes till 2:50. Please feel free to ask, and please fill the feedback form so that Fatima can get back to you on this, or our HRs will get back to you. Just not Fatima, any HR will get back. I'll wait for more 3 minutes, and then we'll end the session. Guys, feel free to ask. Feel free to ask. We are here for that only.
Gaurav, there is one question.
Please do
Okay.
try to make them.
Acha. Thanks, Sunil. To work with Rasa in Python background is, see, Python background is needed, but not that you need to be an expert in Python, right? Why I'm telling again, because very less coding, you get everything and anything that you need in the infrastructure itself, right? So let me reshare the thing. Let me reshare it.